see the world and sail the seven seas. Wanna be free, unveil some mystery. Ancient times have passed me by, thou will remain. Hold my heart under the open sky, the moonlight light guides me to my destination. Sail set high, I pass the key. Easter and feast, they stood so silently. Faith in pools under the angel falls.
If you're new to my channel, my name's Thomas Dawson, and today I'm going to take you on a walk around one of my favorite places near Victoria, which is Thetis Lake Park. So as I give you a 360 view of where I'm standing in the moment, in the middle of the park, you might be wondering, okay, so what's so special about Thetis Lake? Well, it's only about 10 minutes outside of Victoria, the main part of the city. So if you're driving outside of Douglas Street, where it turns in Trans-Canada Highway by Uptown Mall, from there it's only 10 or 15 more minutes. Okay, so what do I love about this park? Well, one, it's a spot that's close by where you can come and enjoy some peace and quiet, or if you don't mind crowds, you can hang out at the beach area, which you'll see in a little bit, and go for a nice swim. It's also got some nice hills, some not so high, some others a little steeper, that you can get some good exercise. And there's all kinds of offshoot trails, which if you again want some quiet time, you can do those as well. So with that said, let's go. While I'm walking around the park, I'm also going to give you my first impressions of the GoPro Hero 7 that I recently bought, and you'll see how it performs in nice filtered light and as well under harsher bright conditions. And so hopefully some of you will get something out of that in the event you're thinking about buying one of those. So at the moment I'm just on a offshoot trail and just showing you some of the scenery that you're about to see in the video. And next, we'll get the video started as we arrive at Thetis Lake Park. Okay, so let's say you've found your way to Thetis Lake Park. The highway is just over there. And so basically you're gonna look for a parking spot, of course. And I can tell you that on a nice warm day on the weekend, this lot will often be quite full during the summer months. And be forewarned that this is a pay parking lot, so bring a couple loonies and toonies. Alright, so the parking meter's right here, and just for reference, this is the trail that'll take you to the lake. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes, so you'll be there in no time. And here we are. Not a lot of people here today. Washrooms over here to the left, change rooms. Nice little sandy area. This is the main area where people like to hang out, suntan, go swimming. Alright, so using the beach for reference, the way that I usually go is up this trail to the left, and then just around the corner here is a dirt trail that goes down to the right. And that's where we're going to get started today. And as mentioned in the intro, I'll show you some of my favorite spots along the way, and you'll also get to see how the GoPro Hero 7 Black performs. And just less than 5 minutes into the walk, there's one outhouse here, just so that you know, but be aware that it's the only one after leaving the main area. So this is a little parking lot where people usually bring their little kayaks and whatever boats like those girls have there, and they launch their boats in this little area here. And as you can see, a lot of people like to bring their dogs to this area as well. But be aware, once again, that there's no power boats allowed here, so just bring your canoes, your flotation devices, things like that. And remember this right here. Just a minute after the boat launch, you have a big decision to make. Do you go right or do you go left? So if you go right, you're doing the smaller loop around the lake, or should I say the lower level of the lake, and that'll only take about 30 to 40 minutes, of course, depending how fast you walk. But I always go left because I like going the long way, and it's you get the full scenery package this way, and all totaled it takes approximately an hour for me at a moderate pace. Just a couple minutes into the walk already, we're at a neat little lagoon. Got some lily pads over there. Water's nice and still today, and a beautiful reflection. So, shifting our attention over to the GoPro Hero 7 for a moment. Right now I'm walking along the trail, and what's filtered light, there's a bit of cloud up in the sky, so there isn't a lot of bright contrasty light. And I was using the GoPro for the first time up in Strathcona Provincial Park just a few days ago, and compared to the other cheaper action camera that I have, I definitely like the picture better, and the ability for the camera to smooth out the motion is pretty impressive. But the one issue I had was with the sound, and I still don't know what that issue is, but just let these people go by here. Right. The issue I had with the sound is that for some unexplainable reason the sound was all muffled. It was like I literally had put a pillow between myself and the microphone. So I do notice sometimes when I turned on the GoPro that there was a beeping sound that was a lot fainter than other times. So I think it was something to do with that, is maybe pushing the button too long and activating some weird microphone setting. I don't know. But anyhow, after I'll just go over here and show you one of the nicer scenes while I babble away here. The little lagoon. So anyway, I started thinking there's something odd about the beeping, that when it was faint. So I was making sure that I only recorded when the beeping was loud. Albeit a little bit too late. It kind of spoiled a couple of my vlogs, but for the last vlog that I made that I just posted on YouTube, all the sound was okay. However, also having said that, I noticed that, you know, when I turn the camera around and keep talking, the sound would be quite different. So I looked on YouTube, and I heard that the way the microphones are set up in this camera, I think it said there's 3 different mics, and it would actually adjust according to wind and sounds. So sometimes that made the sound a little odd. And so what I've done, which I'm kind of testing today, is I went into the camera and I put it on stereo. So hopefully it's just going to be nice and consistent. It might mean the sound of the wind is picked up a little bit more, but I can live with that. I'd rather have consistent sound, which to me sounded to be a better quality than the other way it is, and hopefully I've addressed the issue of only pushing record after the loud beeping sound. So if all goes according to plan, everything will be good, and I'll be very happy with my GoPro again. So this is one of my favorite spots to stop at along the lake. I'm going to show you another section over here. One of the things I love about this area is that the lake isn't just a big round or oval shaped lake. It has all kinds of nooks and crannies and narrow areas through here. A lot of people like to kayak through this area. There's all kinds of neat channels, and if you didn't know better, you'd think there was, oh, here comes a couple buddies. Hey buddies. Hey buddy. You'd think there was a whole bunch of separate small lakes. And as you can see, quite a popular place to take your dog for a walk. Here's another little test for the GoPro. It's kind of looking directly into the sun this way, so we'll see how it is as compared to looking the opposite way. So you can compare. So at the moment there's a bunch of brights and shadows right along here, so let's just see how the camera handles that. And I'm facing the sun's up there at the moment. And now let's see, scary as it may be, how do I look? How does the camera handle when I'm standing here in the bright? How does it look? Not how do I look? No comments on that, please. And now in the shadow. Well, more in the shadow. Let me get behind a big tree over here where there's actual nothing but shadow. Still facing the sun. Let's see how that picture looks there. So where I was just showing you one of my favorite spots is about 20 minutes into the walk. So right now there's beautiful filtered light. And as you might notice, there are some of the leaves turning already on the trees. So it looks like we're in for another early fall. What I typically like to do is at about the 40-minute mark, past the halfway mark of my walk, I like to come to this particular bench and have some of my healthy snacks. So let's just chill out for a bit and then we'll get back to the walk. What, you want one of these? All right, fine. Open your mouth, see if I can get it in there. Oh, you missed it. Sorry. All right, so let's do another little GoPro test. I'm actually at the top of a little hill. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my best to hold the camera steady with the selfie stick, but I'm going to scamper down the hill, not trying to run smoothly. So we'll see how this goes, see how the stabilization is. More than likely, it was probably pretty good. Alright, and another quick little test this time. I'm going to turn the camera this way And I'm going to run up the hill as quickly as I reasonably can. And you'll see how the sound is as I try to talk while bolting up this hill faster than Usain Bolt possibly could ever do. Alright, so we'll check that out and we'll see how that went later. Alright, snack break's over and we got some full-blown sun out. So again, let's just do a little test here. Coming through a couple bright patches and into some shade. And again, a little bit of brightness. Do a little 360, see how it handles the forest with the bright light. And again, we'll review that later and see how it fared. Alright, now we're in the home stretch. We're 3/4 of the way through the walk. Oh, and one thing I want to do, just tweak my memory. Just up ahead here we have what's called arbutus trees. Let's see if I can find a really nice one here. These are nice ones over here. And these are quite unique to Vancouver Island. You can see the underneath the orange colored bark is this greenish color, and they kind of grow in all kinds of gnarly ways. And so as best as I understand, let's just do another little test here, see how good this camera is up close. Here's my other little camera. We'll back off. This is about 3 inches away, 6 inches away. That's about a foot. My other camera was not good for close-ups. Hello. Now, try not to freak out, but it's actually 1 week later at this very moment than the previous clip. Now, you might be wondering yourself, what are you talking about? You're wearing the same clothes. And I intentionally put on the same clothes that I was wearing a week ago because I knew that if you're watching this video and all of a sudden I was wearing different clothes, some of your minds would explode because you wouldn't be able to fathom what had happened. So for your sake, I'm wearing the same clothes. Yes, I did wash them. So why is that? Because quite simply, my memory card ran out of space and I didn't have any extras. And I ran out of space because I had my video camera at a very high quality setting, and I just ran out of space way quicker than I expected. So the good thing about that is, however, that it gave me a chance to go home and watch some of the video clips from a week ago, and so I'm going to give you my impressions, just standalone regarding the camera and in comparison to the other action camera that I have. So first of all, I was quite happy with the new stereo sound setting. Everything seems to be fine and no issues there. Still not positive why the other sound was getting muffled, but if I remember, I'll try and put in a clip from when I went to Bedwell Lake in Strathcona Provincial Park so you know exactly what I'm talking about, because just saying muffled might not describe it that well, but that's basically what it was. I'm down at lake level now here at Bedwell Lake, and again, I don't know how good the photo looks or the video looks behind me because the sun's out now. It might be a little harsh, but I think that if one was right around this area. Anyhow, sound, quite happy with it now. I haven't had any problems. The actual video quality, quite happy with that as well. And comparing to the eye camera, which again, if I remember, I'll just show you that on this videotape later on. Excuse me. I'd say that the video quality looks different, but definitely better with the GoPro Hero 7, and sound quality as well. Now the biggest difference, and what impressed me the most, was the image stabilization. You saw just a couple clips ago me running up and down a rocky area, and it's pretty bumpy, and so I was really impressed by the image stabilization, and that really blows away the eye camera, which doesn't really have any stabilization. If I carry my selfie stick really calmly and evenly, it appears as though it's nice and even, but if I go up and down some bumps, it's another story. So now, just in the name of proving what I'm saying here, I'm going to turn my camera around for a second. I'm going to take it out of the selfie stick, and I do just want you to see that I'm just using a regular selfie stick, so not using a gimbal, in case anybody thought that's what I was doing. Excuse me while I put the camera back in. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. The one thing that when I switched the sound to stereo, just like the guy in the video said, seemed to automatically make the picture setting a higher quality. So again, that's going to use up more memory space, of course, so you have to be mindful of that. And I'm going to be going to China in less than 4 weeks now, so I just ordered a whole bunch of memory cards. All right, so next I think we'll pick up at either another one of my favorite spots along the lake. I'm just on one of the side trails again. You might recognize it from earlier on in the video. Just wanted a bit of peace and quiet so I could talk and ramble on without people looking at me like I'm a crazy person, even if it is true. So yeah, I'll just pick up in a little bit where we meet up with the hills or whatever else I think is interesting and worthwhile filming. Right here is where you decide if you want to avoid the hills, and if you do, you're going to go right, and that'll take you back around to that boat launch area that I told you about. And if you don't mind the hills, we'll go this way. If you go to the right, it'll probably take you longer to get back to the parking lot, the main parking lot that is, than going this way. So suck it up and do the hills. I'm at the base of the first major hill, and I know it's hard to tell how steep hills are from a video camera, but hopefully you'll get an idea. But anyway, there's about 3 of these hills. This is, I think, the tallest of them. Once I get up to the spot right here, I'll point the camera down, see if you get a little bit better idea of how steep or not it is. Probably not. But anyway, if you haven't been doing any hills or any walking, it'll get your cardio going. And this is the view of Thetis Lake from the top of the second hill. I'm not going to bother filming all the hills, but it'll give you a good idea. A lot of people do cliff diving from over there, including the tallest spot, which is probably a good, I'm going to say 40 to 50 feet tall. I would definitely do something like that, even at the age I'm at now. I definitely used to do it when I was younger, along the Cowichan River near Duncan. Let's carry on. I'm going to start wrapping things up here, just heading down towards the third hill. It's a little quiet, so hope you enjoyed this video and a review of the GoPro Hero 7 Black. And remember, your health is your wealth. If you're struggling with health, I have started making vlogs related to health, and I also have a pretty comprehensive book about health called Getting Real in the Unreal World, The Wheel of Health. And so you can check that out on Amazon.com or Amazon.ca. And that'll be, I I think one of the most comprehensive books that you read, because I don't just focus on food and nutrition. I focus on 10 major categories that can affect your health. So check that out. You can read the first I think 2 chapters in the intro, see if you might enjoy it. And I guess that's about it. Remember, I'll be going to China in 4 weeks. Well, 4 weeks from the time this video is made. Colombia at the end of November 2019. So I'll catch up with you soon. Bye for now. Alright, so I told you that I'd try to remember to show you what the eye camera looks like. And so this is it right here. Show you side view, back view. And I can tell you that it's virtually identical in size to the GoPro Hero 7 Black. Now, my honest impressions of this camera are that it's a good starter camera. The video quality is not too bad. Sound quality is all right as well. But I have to add that every time I turn it on and off, there's a loud popping sound. So I have to edit that out of every single clip. Whereas the GoPro doesn't seem to be doing that. Now, the one thing I don't understand about both cameras is, why is it that, you just do a little bit of movement like this, sometimes it's like there's a bit of a noise sound. It's even more pronounced with this one, but I don't know, I noticed that in a lot of professional vloggers using the Sony camera, the GoPro, so I guess that's just something you have to learn to live with, and that's the way it is. Another thing I thought of that I'd mentioned about the GoPro Hero 7, the only thing that I don't like so far is that when I turn it on, it is a really loud beeping. It's like a beep, 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 3 sounds. And turning it off, there's 7 loud consecutive beeps. And personally, I'd rather be in a lot more of a stealth mode and have it be a very faint beeping so that people couldn't hear me turning it on and off all the time. But anyway, still very happy with it. This camera here, the I, if you can't read it, THI, then the word I, EYE. I think I got it for around $155 Canadian. The other thing I actually do really like about this camera, well, I don't know if it's the camera itself, but it actually comes with an underwater casing. And I have tried that out, and it worked pretty good, although of course it muffled the sound a lot because it encases the entire camera. Now, of course, the GoPro Hero 7 that I'm using right now is supposed to be waterproof. It comes with this casing that doesn't just goes around part of the camera, so I'm presuming that the sound will be a lot better than this. But of course, this is more like a $450 Canadian camera, so I'm afraid to use it underwater. So this will be ideal for a backup camera. I'm going to bring this with me in case I run out of battery power. I'm going to charge all the batteries up for this. I'll bring the underwater casing, and if I want to do any underwater shooting, this is going to be the one that I use, so I don't have to feel like I'm potentially risking ruining my good camera. So it's not bad to have a backup. You never know when you're going to drop your camera, so this could be a good little backup camera for anybody. But anyhow, I'll sign off for now. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you got something beneficial out of watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.